Okay, good morning, guys. It is New Year's Eve today, so I'm going to welcome to a new vlog, effectively. I will vlog today, then I will end the vlog, I think, start fresh for the new year. Anyways, you are currently being filmed in portrait for TikTok combo purposes. Actually, maybe I won't do this. Okay, I can cut this. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the vlog. For those of you who are new here, my name is Steph, and it is New Year's Eve tonight. You guys are probably not going to see this, unfortunately, until the mid-end of this week coming, just because I really need to edit my like the last vlog that I filmed first. So kind of my plan is going to be have like a week and then film the weekend, film the weekend, you know. So there's 2 different vlogs coming out, and then you guys will kind of get a combo of like it just kind of segments the vlogs more into like productive work week and what I do on an everyday basis, and then actual like going out, fun, entertaining, that sort of stuff on the weekends. And they're 2 different types, but this is just how my life is currently structured, and I feel like doing productive lifestyle vlogs is like, you know, more on brand for the week, and then having like my weekend life as a different vlog, you know, makes a lot of sense in my opinion, to like just break up the content so it's not like one really long vlog where a lot of it is just like home stuff, you know, just keeping everything thematically together. But anyways, today I am getting ready. We are going to head out to the burbs where my parents live. We are not actually necessarily going to see them. We're seeing them tomorrow. They're coming out for lunch at Canton Ramen, which like obviously there's like a million really good ramen places, but we just live really close to a Canton and it's quite good, and you know, not fussed. A little New Year's Day thing. I hope it's open, honestly. I should have checked that. I will check that first. But yeah. So we're going out to go have lunch with one of my boyfriend's friends from undergrad at the Kerr Street Cafe. If you guys are in like the West GTA West End kind of thing, or like ever just feel like trekking to Oakville, I would recommend. It's really good, really interesting food, pretty solid brunch spot, and they also don't do any reservations. You just like queue, which I kind of love, because so many good brunch places get full. However, we really do need to like get a move on, because it's going to be like a wait, and we need to show up with enough time to wait. And then tonight we're having people over for New Year's Eve, and like, yeah, this is very chaotic to go to Oakville and back with like a lunch in the middle without any set timing for the lunch, but it's okay. We're fine. Okay, anyways. So, I need your guys' opinion on something. I am really going back and forth on, like, if you guys follow me on TikTok, like, let me know if you would be interested in this, or like if this sort of like video style intrigues you. But do you guys like those like talk through get ready with me's that people have been doing recently, inspired by Alex Earl? So like, are you guys also obsessed with Alex Earl? I am obsessed with Jason. I don't think I would say my entire life is dictated by her, but I am like very fascinated by like the phenomena that she is kind of creating right now. It's really interesting to see, and also she's just like killing it, and she does seem actually like nice. Seem operative word, don't know her IRL. But yeah, anyways, that was just, it's just like a new style, and it's kind of popular right now, and I want to know, are you guys interested? The thing I have to say is the lighting in here gives me really bad shadows on my face because it's like up right above my head. In person it's not so bad, but then like of course on the phone it's way worse. Okay, so we're starting with Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, and I'm just buffing that in and blending it all out. Definitely having a moment with my skin where I feel like it's not that bad, so I'm trying to use like less product per se in terms of like my base, just to keep it like, I don't know, breathing. Then I add, this is the Waso Shiseido tinted SPF moisturizer. It's like the oil-free green one. Look at this, I've used it for a while. Same brush. Sometimes I will go and like mix the two together like on my face, but I did this last night and I was really surprised with the coverage. This has SPF in it, and if it is truly like a really sunny day, or like a sunny day at all, I shouldn't qualify with really, but I will just go in and add like an SPF to this, like more SPF to this, but it is actually foggy today, so I'm putting on a little bit just for coverage sake, make sure I have it. But yeah, like I always wear SPF, but like I don't need to wear 50, like SPF 50 in the current outside climes. Okay, I find something about the Milk makeup base sometimes makes my makeup pale. I'm not really sure why. I don't love that. It's kind of gross, to be honest with you. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so fascinating to see how fast she is like rising, and I really hope that this is one of those situations where she truly is like just up. Because there's this like really stupid, I mean, it makes sense, but like it's like psychology wise it makes sense, but like there's definitely this like thing with like celebrities, in particular women, or like, you know, like influencers, that sort of thing, where people love to like when somebody reaches a certain point, they kind of can end up like getting torn down or canceled, or, you know, like they're perceived to never, like, you know, it's just like negative for some reason. Like this happened with like Charli D'Amelio, for instance. She became famous on TikTok very quickly, and then she received like so much hate after a certain point, and I don't really know what, like, if it was justified or not. I really don't follow that, but I do like know, for instance, like know that like I don't really think she was necessarily doing anything super problematic, in my opinion. I mean, you might judge problematic or not, but it really did seem like she was just like it was like she was doing the same thing, and then one day it was like a flip, and then people like turned on her almost, or like, I don't know, it's like weird. So weird psychology. Because in my opinion, I would have thought, like, you're building a fan base, you're building supporters, you're building a community of people, and I would have thought that community, like, maybe because like when you grow that, like I'm just flipping and flopping around on ideas here, but like maybe when you grow that fast on a social media platform, so many people follow you because you're trending, and they don't necessarily follow you because they resonate with like your content or who you are. And that's maybe like why that happens so noticeably, so drastically, so quickly, I guess, with especially like internet celebrities, like internet personalities. Also they're just like so much more accessible than like J-Lo and Ben Affleck, for instance. But yeah, I don't know, it is crazy to me, and I think maybe it is like they just don't have time to community build necessarily on the way up. They don't have time to build like as many real connections within the base, or as many loyal followers within the base in the same way. Like they do have loyal followers, but they more have like, it seems like they have like fan accounts and stuff already. I don't know. I was just like, it seems kind of interesting, and I hope with Alex and I hope with like other people going forward, it really doesn't happen in that same way, because I don't actually think that any of these, especially like all of these kids are like young. They're usually like at least 5 years, 10 years younger than I am. They're so young, and like to have that much fame and money and status and influence that young is crazy. That does things to you psychologically. But then also, if you think about it, they receive so much, they receive so many unsolicited comments, good and bad, and like that just can't be good for you. It's like I know that like when I receive a negative comment, it's like not great, but I'm also like at the point in my life where I will just like laugh at a negative comment almost, especially like, you know, people are like when they're coming from a place of, I guess, like of very strong personal bias that they're taking out on me. For instance, there's a guy who was like, oh my god, like get ready to like completely transform your face. Because I was like I did like a video with like my makeup, I was just getting ready like this. I just posted it on shorts, and he was like completely transform your face and like trick men and da 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 da. And I'm like, sir, if you don't think I look the same, but just with a little bit of color and not dead eyes, then you need your vision checked. Like, I don't do anything crazy, and if I did, it would be my choice. And it was just like I'm at that point where obviously like I've recognized that that person is deeply insecure and needs to touch grass, for lack of a better word, and it's not my responsibility to take that person's shit on. But you know, somebody who's young, like a 15, 16-year-old, may not have that same, like may not have that mentality yet, may have to learn that, and to kind of have to learn that like people are like that at that young age is not great. Like, my biggest concern in high school was honestly like making sure I didn't forget an assignment, and like there was like the mean girls, and they were mean, but they were mean in such a way that they were so exclusionary to everybody else, and they only hung out with themselves. And so like, yeah, they could talk about you, and like something could spread through the grade, which not great in and of itself. But because they were such an insular group, because they didn't hang out with people, because they didn't talk to anybody really outside of their circle, it died really quickly because they didn't have friends in all the other groups. They weren't talking about it in all the other groups. Like, they were just talking about it amongst themselves, and it was like this group of 10 girls in a grade of 170 kids. And it just was like, you know, like, okay, so you're talking about people, but it didn't really ever end up with like brawls and stuff. And like one time this girl got cyberbullied. Don't condone cyberbullying at all. She got super cyberbullied. For the time, it wasn't as bad as it is now. But it was so bad. But I'm just gonna say, comparatively, I think kids are way worse online than these kids were when they did bully her. And like the kids that did cyberbully this girl, her dad, the bullied girl's dad stepped in, which at the time I think a lot of people were like, no, but I personally think good on him. Like, he stood up for his kid. He knew that she wasn't having the most amazing time through like high school at this point, and was sort of struggling with kids sort of picking on her because she was like different. But he stepped in. The school, like, you know, I think he threatened legal, which is the other thing that happened, which definitely it helps having parents who will threaten and can afford that, obviously, so privilege on that front. But they stepped in, and that's the only case of real cyberbullying that I can think of that ever happened in my grade. So it was, you know, like, there were real actions, real consequences. There was, you know, like, and then it didn't happen again. And that's obviously like a best case scenario for this sort of stuff. But I think if you're famous, or like even now, because there's so many different platforms, there's so many, you know, like the concept of a Finsta wasn't a thing back in the day. And like when this girl was getting cyberbullied, it was on her Facebook like wall. I'm sure a lot of you guys who follow me remember that because you guys are similar in age to I am. But like you couldn't hide. You know, like it was your name, and people saw you comment these things, and it was just before like Finstas and all of that sort of stuff. So there was like a tiny bit more accountability. It wasn't like completely anonymous. But yeah, I don't know, like I just don't know how people, like young kids would handle that now. I don't know how I would handle that now as an adult, but I don't know how like high school me would have dealt with what some of these kids are like dealing with and exposed to. It's mind-blowing, and I think like a lot of them are handling it really like better than I think I ever could have. And yeah, long story short, it's going on, but I'm so excited for food. I'm going to drive and pick up my boyfriend's friend, which is like not an issue, but it is delaying my food, and I need to probably eat something before we go because I don't know how long it is going to be for food. All right, so yeah, okay, this is the new way I do my makeup. It is very similar to how I used to do my makeup. The only difference is I kind of have toned down the highlighter, and I've switched my blush combo out just for the winter. In the summer, I use the Tower 28 like Beach Please blush and Charlotte Tilbury Peach Gasm, and now I use Rare Beauty Happy and either this Hourglass palette or the bright pink Dior blush. But then legitimately everything else is the same. I either use this lip oil or the mahogany one, and then I think my lip liner is my stripped on. Yes, so stripped on lip liner or Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. Kind of depends on how pale I feel, which is a weird concept to say. But yeah, it just depends on like if I'm feeling like awake or not, I guess. Because I find if I am a little bit more like pale, if I feel a little bit more like drained looking, the Iconic Nude is better because it's lighter and it's a little bit softer. But if I, like today, I feel like I got a good night's sleep, my skin looks good, I was able to build up a little bit of a glow, then I just use the strip down and blend it up. But I think definitely like throughout the colder months, as my summer tan finally like fully fades, but we are pretty close to my natural skin tone. I'll get much more pale than this. I don't have any real, I have a little bit, but my tan lines are almost gone. So that means I'm almost back to my most pale, which honestly isn't like super bad. I don't mind this at all, but I do like to be tan. But anyways, yeah, this is a very long chatty get ready with me. Another thing, so I got this Nivea body cream because I ran out of my Necessaire one, and obviously the Necessaire is obviously very good, but it is very expensive for how much you actually get. So I'm trying out the Nivea because Nivea is such a tried and true brand. And I'm starting to get these like really bad scaly patches on parts of my body, even with moisturizing. So we're gonna try it out. We're gonna see. And like this whole bottle was half the price of this. So this was 200 ml, and this is 625 ml. And yeah, it's about a third of the price. So love that. I mean, I do obviously know that with like Necessaire you're buying like high-end blah 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 blah. But in the winter where I feel like I'm literally slathering this on like in thick coats, I need it to work, and I don't want to be replacing it every like 5 months or every like 2 weeks, you know? Not the vibe. But yeah, okay. Okay, I've tried to hear. I'm definitely gonna edit out clips, maybe. We'll see. But yeah. see how gloomy it is? It's 10 a.m. and this is like how dark my condo is. Yeah, this is the makeup. And I am gonna leave my hair like this for now, and then I'm gonna curl it later. But yeah, doesn't look that busy outside. Hopefully the roads aren't bad. Okay, hey guys, I've not talked to you in a while after my very long get ready with me portion. But anyways, we are obviously back home at the condo. Had like such a good lunch with my boyfriend's friend. We actually really try hard to see him like frequently, as frequently as we possibly can. Like whenever he's in Toronto or we're in New York, we really just try our best to do like at least one thing. The boys are quite close, so plus I really like him. He was one of the first of my boyfriend's friends, like that I met, who I didn't know in undergrad, who was like super like warm and welcoming to me. I just feel like he's such a good person, and it's always lovely to see him. But anyways, okay, so I am getting ready. My boyfriend is also getting ready, but in another part of the condo, we are very fortunate to have two full bathrooms, which is so lovely. But I do know that if we ever were to downsize, we would not have that. Which, like, I'm not saying obviously like we need two bathrooms, but definitely having two bathrooms is so convenient, because we both can get ready at the same time. I can do my makeup, do my hair, whatever, and he can shower and all that sort of stuff, and it's not like overlapping on top of each other, and we're just obviously like super privileged to have that here. So anyways, I am starting out not totally crusty musty, but like this hair could have been better. So today I just put my hair up into a bun, or like a low slicked back bun, because it was so raining and gross, for lack of a better word. I just didn't want to style my hair and then have it be ruined tonight. So I was like, I'll just like slick it back. Like, not really slicked back, but just pull it back and fix the elastic line. Anyways, so I'm gonna get ready with you guys partially, and then I'm going to flip you onto the good old time lapse, because I'm going to do very similar makeup that I did earlier today, and I'm going to time lapse you while doing a get ready with me for TikTok, but I'm not totally sure how I'm gonna film it yet, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I probably should have sectioned my hair because I did not fully rinse my conditioner out as well as I needed to, which has left this texture feeling not great, let me tell you. Yeah, anyways, just gonna struggle through it. Wow. I feel like this piece was way too much. We also left getting ready like much later than I personally normally would, but honestly, we're just having two people over. We're just having Erin, my best friend, and Kim over, so like I'm not super fussed, and there's not going to be a ton of different like arrival times and stuff, and also there's just like not like a lot of people. It's definitely a more low-key evening, and because of that I'm just doing the minimum. Not like a minimum, but like I don't need to go full glam. Anyways, my hair is like holding curl really weird. I just over curled the crap out of that piece. Looks okay though. Looks too much conditioner, rained on, wasn't a bun hair. So we are not expecting, I am not expecting miracles, but I am expecting a loose wave pattern. And then this front piece of it is sticking. I am also gonna put dry shampoo in my hair, I think. Anyways, so here we are. I am also drinking a cup of tea, a cuppa, as my pregame, and feeling alive, feeling good. There's so much deodorant on, you can still see it. I hope it absorbs in the meantime. Brushed out, maybe. We'll see. We shall see. If you guys are curious, I do like to take large sections of my hair, like large sections, and then curl it, and then kind of just like go in and fix pieces as I need to. And I do have a lot of hair, but what I find is this ends up with me having like a very cohesive wave throughout my hair. Like, so the phone died, so you are now truly on iPad, doing iPad quality. I really need to go plug my phone in because people are gonna be buzzing in. Anyways, okay, stress now. New stress level. Oh, I'll just bring my charger here. Okay. Stress slightly alleviated. I just attuned to the fact that I need to do my hair fast. I mean, it's almost done, but you know, sometimes your girl is on the struggle bus for some reason, and I just don't understand why. Like, there's no reason I should be. There's no reason I should be stressed. No, not at all. But okay. Turn them off. Turn off. Brush the hair out a little so it's not so clumpy. Oh yeah, okay, that did okay. It did okay. The front is a little weird, but that's because it's like flat. Alright. Alright. This is the hair. It needs some shushing. Step 1 in a zhuzh is dry shampoo. Alright, let's let that sit.
Okay, so switching over into voiceover mode, I'm going to talk you guys through everything I did for my New Year's Eve dinner because I do the most and I really love hosting dinner parties, but I didn't have a chance to kind of talk to you guys while I was doing it. So here's a quick explanation of everything that I did. The first thing is I set up my cheese board. I just had brie and Saint Andre with a little bit of fig jam, some of these like Farm Boy chips, which are really good. I think they're like fig and olive, and then some grapes for good luck for the new year. I then sliced my baguette. This at Farm Boy is called the Parisian loaf or something. So I just sliced this on a pretty hard diagonal, and I did the whole loaf because I didn't have any other starch, no potatoes, no rice or anything. So this was going to be what was going to soak up any sauce, used for butter, anything like that, if people were still kind of a little hungry after the shellfish. And I just sliced it and arranged it really nicely in this bowl, and then I did give my boyfriend the heel as a little snack. I then popped in some salad. This is a super green mix, I think. I do the majority of my shopping at Farm Boy, so you guys can just go and see the packages. And then I added in some cucumber. I did just simply slice the cucumber, nothing much to it. The dressing on this ended up just being olive oil and balsamic vinegar. Nothing crazy, and I wasn't trying to do the most with the salad because there was a lot of other food, and the other food that I was making had very rich, complex components to it, so I just wanted to do something that was fresh. I then made a little cube of butter and added some flaky salt on top, just to have some room temperature butter out for the baguette, for the crisps, for anything like that. And got to work prepping my hollandaise sauce. I make my hollandaise sauce just straight over the stove, a full send situation. I don't necessarily recommend this, but this is how I've always made it. So I juice 1 lemon, and then I put 2 egg yolks in, especially if I'm going to be cooking for a large group. And then I put about half a cup of butter, maybe a little bit less, but yeah, I definitely do put, or a quarter cup of butter, sorry. And then I also sliced up some lemon. I always do this when I'm cooking any sort of seafood because I don't know if anybody wants to add any additional lemon to their meals, but also sometimes my friends like to dip into my tequila collection and have some shots. So it's always good to have that prepared. These cute little petally looking plates are from Love Ecru. And then the rest of my dishware is a combination of Anthropologie, Homebody, but the actual brand is Atelier Treme, and Indigo, and stuff from my parents' place. What I can link, I'll link below. Then I get to work prepping my base of my mussels. I'm making steamed white wine mussels, but dairy-free. Not totally dairy-free, there is butter, but start off by just mincing garlic, chopping up shallots, and I also added an onion just for that little bit extra sweetness. I didn't have heavy cream or milk to rely on to kind of blend all of the flavors together because I was cooking for somebody who is allergic to milk and milk adjacent products. Butter was fine, but couldn't add heavy cream to kind of make that more cream sauce, so I just loaded this up with as many shallots, onions, garlic, just anything to kind of add complexity to the flavor without overpowering it. And you can just see I'm dicing away here. There's a lot of slicing and dicing in this sort of stuff, but it overall was actually a very inexpensive and a very easy meal to cook. It's just a lot of prep work, but you kind of, with this one, it looks more impressive than it actually is because there's a lot of sides to add to everything. So, I don't know. Plus, mussels are actually super cheap, which is why this was so affordable. I did do another dish, which is scallops, but you can totally skip that and just do straight mussels, and it ends up being a very affordable meal with a ton of wow factor. So once everything is minced, just in a large stock pot, I add butter, and I did add a flaky salt. You don't have to add flaky salt, but for cooking, I do prefer something a little bit more coarse and a little bit grittier. and I add that in with a good amount of butter. Let that come up so it's a little bit bubbly, and then I add in my onions first. They are the longest to cook out of the other things. The shallots and the garlic are a little bit more delicate and more prone to burning. So I start sweating off the onions first, and that does also drop down the temperature of the pan slightly. And then I add in the shallots and the garlic, and then I added some pepper and just sweated, let everything saute and get to a almost caramelized but not actually caramelized state. I then added in 2 cups of white wine and 2 cups of chicken stock and brought that up to a kind of like a healthy boil. I wouldn't say it was a rolling boil, but I definitely brought it up to temp, and then added in the mussels. You want to give the mussels a really good toss, and then I covered them and let them cook for 4 minutes, and then I turned it off and let it continue just cooking in the steam, and this worked out really well for me while I finished up kind of everything else that I was doing. So as you can see, I switched to making my hollandaise sauce, and the reason why I put so much butter and so much egg yolk in, 2 egg yolks and that much butter, is the more fat that you put in, the more protein and fat, the more stable the sauce is going to be. And when I'm cooking like this, where it might be sitting on the table, there's a lot of other moving parts, I do really want a very stable sauce. Now, normally I do not put 2 egg yolks and this much butter, but it is New Year's Eve. It was a special occasion. I was cooking for other people, so I wasn't as concerned about dietary health, for lack of a better word. But do be warned, if you do use more butter and more egg yolk, it can take a little bit longer to thicken up, so just factor that into your cook time. And I always like to use a deeper pan for this, a smaller but deeper pan. The more volume I feel like there is vertically, the less likely I find the sauce is going to overcook. The key with doing hollandaise sauce the way I do it, without a double boiler, is to be very careful with your heat exposure so you don't end up making lemony scrambled eggs. You just want to always monitor, take the pan on and off of the heat, and kind of just watch. It's really a feel sort of process, so I don't recommend it, but this is the way that I always just do it because I'm always too lazy to set up a double boiler. So yeah, that's how I do it, but that is not the way to do it. There is a proper way to do it. I just don't do it that way. The next thing I did was add another knob of butter into a large, I don't even know what type of pan this is. This kind of like a lower saucepan sort of thing. It's not really like a skillet, but it has it's got some depth to it. And then I just laid out my scallops to sear off while I was plating the mussels. What I did was just with some tongs pull the mussels out into these dishes. They are from Anthropologie. I forget the exact name, but I'll link them below. They're a little bit deeper, so they were perfect for the mussels. Pulled out all the mussels first and then ladled the sauce on top. And then once they were done, you can see I laid everything out. We had some Prosecco with dinner as well. My boyfriend specifically pulled a Prosecco that was more like for pairing with shellfish, oysters, that sort of thing. You can see that's our plating, and then afterwards everybody else was on to second round of Prosecco, but I made myself a little bit of fancy sparkling apple cider just with some edible glitter because I'm not a huge drinker and I still want to feel included and I still wanted something fun. So what is better than a glittery apple cider that still kind of looks like I'm drinking Prosecco? But just did that, and with the flash you can really see the glitter. It is a little hard to see like on camera, but in real life you can see it, but the flash really does pick it up. And then afterwards I did open up my Christmas presents from my bestie. She purchased some of the stuff before, but I got a lemon pop socket, a brand new Kindle, and I also got a makeup removing balm from Pharmacy, which I love. I love that this year we did like really practical gifts with each other. And then we got to work actually making our physical vision boards. This was always our plan for New Year's Eve, and then the boys ended up joining. So while we were doing this, they were just hanging out, catching up, and also playing a very intense Mario Kart session. They got very competitive, but we both just selected our photos, and Aaron very kindly printed it out, and we picked up these like sort of flat canvases, and then we just, you know, laid everything out, cut, did all that sort of stuff, and then hot glued it all together. And I have mine displayed in my living room right now to kind of visually manifest what I want to achieve this year. And it was just such a fun activity to do together, and I would really recommend either doing something like this where it is a like physical board that you can look at, or I think the plan that I'm going to put forth for our next girls' night in is to do like digital vision boards and then present them and talk to everybody else about our goals. And we did present these to the guys. It was a little bit embarrassing, but something that I found has actually kind of been nice is now that I've talked to my boyfriend and I've talked to like my friends about my vision board and about my goals, we have all actually been like talking about some of the stuff, talking about how everybody's achieving their goals for this year, helping, talking, manifesting, all of that sort of stuff. And it's been kind of nice. I think like everybody's a little bit more on the same page this year, and we kind of love to see it. So this is my finished vision board, just like little clips of it. I can show you guys the actual thing if you want, and there's clips of the boys playing Mario Kart. And then it was time for champagne. We did like save a bottle of champagne that Aaron brought over specifically for our midnight toasts. And then we toasted, and then the fireworks at Harborfront went off, and oh my god, guys, like you can hear Cam in the background of this because I left the sound on so you guys could hear this, but yeah, we were so close, and it was so loud, but it was awesome. It was a 15-minute show. Really recommend it. But that's it. I hope you guys have an amazing New Year's, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.